Hampshire, then through South Carolina, then through Nevada, then through Super Tuesday, then through the rest of the primary states, asking for each primary voter support, building our grassroots army from the ground on up.
Sir, Donald Trump says you're being a copycat when it comes to immigration. Are you?
Oh, listen, there have been more than a few insults and rocks thrown when it comes to the political race. I think it's interesting. A couple of weeks ago, almost every Republican candidate in the field was attacking Donald Trump. Today, almost every Republican candidate in the field is attacking me. It kind of suggests maybe something has changed. From my perspective, then and now, I'm not going to engage in the back and forth and the mudslinging and the insults. I'm going to keep my focus on the positive, optimistic, conservative vision that I have for this country, on real solutions to the real problems. Look, I'll note when it comes to immigration, there was a moment in 2013 that was, as Ronald Reagan put it, a time for choosing. The battle over the Rubio-Schumer Gang of Eight plan, a massive amnesty plan, was a line in the sand. On one side, you had Barack Obama, you had Chuck Schumer, you had the Democrats and far too many establishment Republicans in Washington, pushing a massive amnesty plan that wouldn't have secured the borders and that would have made it easier for Barack Obama to allow tens of thousands of Syrian refugees to come to this country without mandating meaningful background checks. On the other side, you had leaders like Jeff Sessions and Steve King and I, who stood and fought to defend the rule of law, who stood and fought to stop amnesty, who stood and fought to secure the borders. That was the moment the battle was engaged. And I would note, if you look at the other very fine men and women standing on that Republican debate stage, those other candidates were nowhere to be found during that fight. They were not standing and fighting to stop amnesty, to secure the borders, to build a wall, to keep this country safe. You know, Scripture tells us you shall know them by their fruits. It's very easy for a candidate when he or she is running for office to suddenly discover illegal immigration is an issue, to suddenly discover that we have to stop amnesty, to suddenly discover that we've got to secure the borders. But I think what the voters are asking is, show me your record. Show me where you've stood and fought. Show me where you've walked the walk. And in particular, where were you in 2013 when Barack Obama was on the verge of accomplishing a massive amnesty plan, until a handful of leaders stood with the American people and defeated amnesty in Congress.
Senator, with all the crowds you've seen today, do you see yourself as the front runner in Iowa? And is the only way to win here doing bus stops and all 99 counties?
Oh, look, the only way I've ever campaigned is campaigning as the underdog, and that is certainly how I continue to view myself.
Even with the comment about the attacks you're getting, that suggested you see yourself differently.
Well, the Iowa way is campaigning county by county. At the very outset, I committed to doing the full Grassley, to going to all 99 Iowa counties. And to going, we're spending a lot of time in small rural counties where men and women from Iowa can look you in the eye, can take the measure of the candidate. Are you telling the truth or are you blowing smoke? Who are you? That's the way campaigning should operate in Iowa. It doesn't work from a TV studio in New York City. The only way campaigning in Iowa works, the only way campaigning in New York works, in New Hampshire works, is one-on-one with the men and women on the ground. And so that's what we're committed to doing, is building a grassroots campaign, slowly, systematically, methodically from the bottom up. And we've seen that happening week after week and month after month. I'm very, very encouraged. If conservatives continue to unite, we win, but we're going to continue working every day right up until Election Day to ask for the support of the men and women here in Iowa and men and women all across this country.
On immigration, you've said that anybody, undocumented immigrants that are apprehended, that you would send back. Mm-hmm. Under your administration, could you see any exceptions? Mothers, 20-year-old college students. Would there be any exceptions in which you would say these people would be able to stay in the United States?
I believe we should enforce the law. The law requires that anyone here illegally who is apprehended should be deported. That's what we need to do. Part of the problem the last 7 years is we have had a president who refuses to enforce the law. If he disagrees with the law, he doesn't enforce it. As president, I will enforce the law. And when it comes to immigration, I will secure the borders. We will build a wall that works. We will triple the Border Patrol. We will end sanctuary cities. We will end welfare for people here illegally. We will put in place strong E-Verify so that those here illegally cannot get employment. and we will put in place a strong biometric exit entry system so that you can't have visa overstays. We will solve the problem. And listen, what is missing is not the tools or know-how. We know how to fix this problem. What's missing is the political will. There are far too many politicians in both parties, both Democrats and Republicans, who don't want to solve the problem. Enough is enough. We will secure the border, we will end national security, and border security is national security. We will end illegal immigration because we will keep this country safe. And as president, as commander-in-chief, I will have no higher responsibility than keeping this country safe, and I will keep America safe.
But you don't.
Last question. Last
Campaign,
question.
Your campaign man. What's he brought to your campaign for you? What's he doing for you?
Well, look, Jeff, our campaign manager, is a very, very talented, incredibly effective manager. He has brought together a team across this country that's doing it for the right reason. You know, one of the amazing things about our team at the campaign headquarters, but also our team here in Iowa, is that almost every person who's come to the team is taking a major sacrifice, a major financial sacrifice. Just all of them have taken massive pay cuts, just about all of them. A major personal sacrifice. Many people on the campaign are away from their families, away from their husbands or wives, away from their children. And the men and women who have come together behind this campaign, both the paid staff and also the over 175,000 volunteers we have nationwide, have come to this campaign for the right reasons, because we believe in something larger than ourselves. We believe that our country is in crisis, and it's now or never. And you know, I'll tell you, in the course of campaigning, people sometimes ask, are you tired? Is it tiring? And listen, going 18 hours a day, 6 days a week, starting in the morning and going till late at night, can be draining, can be tiring. But the truth of the matter is, I am energized, I'm inspired, because I see the passion of the men and women across Iowa. I see the passion of the men and women across New Hampshire, across South Carolina, across Nevada, across the Super Tuesday states. So many men and women that are desperate to turn our country around, and I am inspired, and I'm proud of the job that Jeff Rowe has done running this campaign. There's a reason why we've reported the most cash on hand of any Republican in the field, because we run a lean, efficient, frugal campaign. We save our dollars to spend on communicating with voters. There's a reason why the strength of our campaign is based not on a bunch of slick consultants making a percentage of media buys. Nobody, by the way, earns a percentage of our media buy. You know, in past elections, you've seen consultants becoming millionaires in the course of a losing campaign. The people who have come together for our campaign are not there for the money. They're there because the country we love is in jeopardy, and we're going to stand up and stop it.
He's controversial down in Missouri, Senator.
Well, you know, when you win campaigns, the people that lose tend to be unhappy about it.
Thanks,
Hey, Senator, can you